Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Galactic Civilizations 4 and our playthrough as the Nyx with the Tales of the Honor DLC. We have started to turn the tables on the Drath in this war, and hopefully we'll start to make some progress soon and be able to go on the counter-offensive. Hopefully. But let's see what we got going on here. We've got the eyeballs. They would like some battle cruiser doctrine for Alarium. Now, they kind of like us, and it would be nice to have somebody on our side. I don't know if we want 17 Alarium though, and I don't want to give up one of my modules. So let's take the module off the table. This is still a good deal for me. Try to screw me over. I don't think so. But we could also use some extra resources. Maybe there is something that we want, like this TechBot Hive or antimatter, although we are currently in antimatter debt. So that doesn't feel like a good trade. Or we could just grab some more cash. An extra 317 Alarium, I think, is fine. We are going to want this. We'll need a little bit of a persuasion, and let's send it. We'll accept this. We'll give them battle cruisers, but we'll need to have a check, because I think, if we have a look at the diplomacy graph, that the Intwiri, the eyeballs, are actually in a war with the Luxar and the Korath clans, so giving them cruisers maybe is going to help them compete a little bit better. So let's check. How are you doing in this war, guys? 518. The Korath, not doing so good. The Korath are not doing so good. And who was the other ones that you were at war with, sir? The Luxar. 821. Putting up a little bit more of a fight. Hopefully, the battle cruisers are going to help them out a little bit. Now, we have started to turn the tide in this war, and that is largely due to the fact that we have some drones, and we've got one cruiser, the Beam Hell. But we're going to talk about why that is today. What has changed that has made us suddenly able to fight all of the enemy ships? Is it because we have military starbases up? Is it the cruiser? Is it the drones? We're gonna find out. We'll take a little deep dive into combat in Gal Civ 4 and try to puzzle out what exactly has changed. So let's have a quick check-in with our planets, make sure everything is building things that we actually want. We're printing out ships as quickly as possible. I would like to get a little bit more population, bring you guys up to max, and then all the ship production. Wouldn't mind throwing in some research. Some research is actually good. A little bit of extra research, but we'll see. We need ships in a hurry. In fact, we are producing a destroyer, the Destro 1. Over here, we're getting a cruiser and supply ships, and that all seems fine. Let's send it forward and see how the AI responds. We've already sort of predicted where you're going to go. You're going to lay siege to a planet. You're probably coming to lay siege to a planet. You're coming to lay siege to a planet, but I'm not worried. We should be able to defend everything. We've heard rumors that the Manti Cluster have built the Centurion Emporium Galactic achievement. Congratulations. Have you guys not started the journey? Let's get you boys over there. All right, one planet is under siege. That will take 8 months. What are you doing? A planetary assault? Good luck with that. In the shadow of our looming victory, we magnanimously offer you a ceasefire. You can do one, mate. Reject the ceasefire. You have no idea what's coming, do you? Ooh, and the Baratak are moving in. What have they got? An invader? All right, we've got asteroid processing. That does lead on to Gigamass theory and asteroid mining. Does give us orbital mineral processors and mining barracks. I think a lot of our manufacturing is supposed to come from like space, because it really sucks down on the planets. Where are my supply depots? Where are my Durantium processors? Where's all of my buildings? But anyway, we're gonna go for Phastic Nano Assembly here, as this gives us even more capacity, 15% plus logistics. Also leads on to fleet logistics, and one of the things we're having a bit of an issue with here is the amount of ships we can put in a fleet. So heading in that direction seems good. Now let's talk about liberation, shall we? We're gonna move this ship here. Now, we'll take no casualties. They have a total loss. I don't even think we need our drone ships for that particular fight. And that would be a good way for us to show off how combat works in Gal Civ 4. Let's take the Beam Hell out. This will be a good chance for him to get some solo XP as well. Light casualties, they take a total loss, but the Beam Hell, remember, also has some fighters. He has 2 assault fighters, 1 interceptor, and a guardian. So we'll probably lose one of those at the cost of, you know, a cruiser. It's a great trade. We look at the combat ships that we'll be going up against. For example, this cruiser. Okay, beam attack of 22, missile attack of 13.5, kinetic attack of 12.8, shield strength of 2.1, 5 evasion, pretty standard, armor rating of 2.3, and he has E-webs, which reduces done by kinetic attacks. Good news. We're not using those. Up against that is our beam hell, which has a combat rating of 19, shield strength of 10, evasion of 130. That is incorrect. It should have a 5. The interceptors all have their own evasion because they're fighters. They get bonuses and stuff. Our armor rating is 25, and we have the vampire module. We'll talk about how all of these systems work. Let's get into the fight. Says we'll take moderate casualties, total loss if we take this fight, and I'm okay with moderate casualties. Let's watch the battle and see how things unfold. All right, immediately we have shots being traded. Even at max range, you can see beams are firing. Let's turn on the battle log. Let's turn on ship HUDs. Let's turn on, and that'll be it. Okay, so we have some hits going out on the shield. Now you'll notice that things have happened here that haven't shown up on the log. Those will show up in just a minute. There's always a little bit of disjoint, but there it is. Now, the flow of combat in this game goes from left to right. You have the ship that's attacking, the type of ship it is, its class, the attack that it did, its chance to hit, how distant it is when taking that shot, the cooldown of that weapon. Then you have on the defender side, the name, the range, its evasion, if the damage was absorbed, if it has shields, if it got mitigated by armor, and then the resulting damage to the ship. And it always goes from left to right. So how this works is, let's say our ship here, which is a bomber, has a missile attack of 2.4, makes an attack roll with its weapon. This number is the amount of damage it rolled on that attack. Of a potential 2.4, we rolled a 1. That 1 damage then goes through a hit check. Did we hit? In this case, it looks like we did because we did something over here. The range and all of that can basically ignore it. So with a 67% chance to hit, we hit with missiles. Then there's an evasion check. If the ship manages to evade, the damage, of course, is mitigated. Then it checks if it has shields. In this case, we hit something that did not have shields, which is strange because this should have shields. We should have hit the shields first. For some reason, its shield integrity is already 0. This is the first attack. I guess that it took some damage from its shields before, but whatever. If you hit, checks evasion, hits the shields if it has shields, hits the armor, does the armor check, and then the damage is calculated. So we're here. Now you'll notice this has an armor of 2.3, and its max integrity would have been 100, but it drops to 95%. Every time an attack hits the armor, as in it doesn't hit shields, it's not evaded, it hits the ship, hits the armor goes down by 5%. So this would have been 100. It has the full amount of shields, 2.3. 1 damage is less than 2.3 last time I checked, so no damage gets through to the ship. But the armor is now at 95%, which means instead of 2.3, it's going to be a little bit lower. It returns fire with 8 beams. Now, here's another thing to note. A ship can have a maximum of 3 attacks. It can have a beam attack, it can have missiles, it can have kinetics. And it doesn't matter if you have 19 beams on your ship that is classed as 1 beam attack. That's important. That's not how I used to think about it. I always thought that each beam did its own little attack. That's not how it works. All of the beams are grouped together in 1 beam attack to give you a total damage for beam weapons. So here he has a potential to do 22.5 damage. He rolled an 8 of that damage. 90% chance to hit though. But even though he has a 90% chance to hit and actually hit us on paper, otherwise we wouldn't even go to the next roll, we have a 30% evasion, which means it's pretty high. More than 1 in 4 attacks are going to miss this ship. In this case, we made the roll, the evasion, doesn't even bother doing any of the other checks. That attack is negated. So if he had 19 beams, all of them would have missed due to evasion. This is why evasion is so powerful. Then is the same cruiser is going to fire its missile attacks because it has more than 1 type of weapon. Gets more attacks. And this is important. You'll see why in a moment. Of a 13.5 potential attack, he did a 1. Bad. Unlucky. Me playing D&D. It goes through. Unfortunately, 67% chance. It missed, so we didn't even do any of these checks. Then our fighters go back and do their thing. Rinse, repeat. We have 1 hit over here, shaving off a little bit of armor, but not enough to yet punch through. We'll need to reduce his armor to something like 20% for these 1 beam attacks to hit. We're also rolling a lot of 1s on our interceptors. Pew, 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 reducing armor, moving down. Okay, now beam hell with its 13 beams, has a potential of 38.9 attack. Quite a lot. We rolled a 13. Less than half. Pretty bad. But we did hit. Remember, we hit. So it does an evasion check. We hit. Any shields? No shields. Moving on to armor. 13 reduced by 2, because that's probably where his armor was after it's down to 85%. So 2 minus 13. Damage 11. How much we did to his HP. His HP is up at 90. So we're going to need quite a few hits. He returns fire on our cruiser. Does 7 of 22. But if you remember, we have 10 shields. It said we had 10 shields on the interceptor. Maybe it's less. Maybe it's 5 for the interceptor. We only checked the beam hell. But anyway, the interceptor has max shields of 5. 7 is more than 5. But you'll notice that our shield integrity is down to 43%. And there's an interaction here. There's some math that I don't fully understand because, again, 7 is more than 5. His shield should just be popped right now. Even if it blocked the full instance of damage and the extra 2 rolling over, gets negated, our shield should be at 0. That's math. So there has to be some other like damage reduction when applied to shield, as in it's not the full 7 damage that gets taken off of shield integrity, but some percentage of that hits the shield integrity, the ability for the shield to stay up itself. Looks about half, maybe. So it does like 50 damage, 50% damage to shield integrity or something like that. But in any case, that would mean our shields are down to like 2.5 on the next volley. We'll see. Of course, we return fire, bunch of damage, still being blocked by the armor, but the armor is going down. And this is why it's very important to always make sure you have 3 weapons on every ship. Every ship should have all 3 weapons. Even if it's 1 of kinetic, 1 of missiles, and then whatever your main weapon is, 13 in this case for the beam hell. That is for the purposes of reducing armor. Every time something hits armor, it gets brought down faster. The beam hell is only basically doing 1 of potential 3 attacks. We could be reducing this armor much faster. And the same goes if all of these fighters had mixed weaponry. But that's the weakness of fighters. They're so light, they typically only have the 1 weapon. But they come in great numbers, etc., etc. But if you're building things like frigates, if you're building your cruisers, your whatever, your bigger ships, always make sure you have 3 weapons on those ships. I've been guilty of this. I tend to just focus on the big numbers for 1 weapon and then spam that weapon. Does not matter. Just put 1 of each type, beam, missile, and kinetic on all of your weapons, and it's going to help reduce the enemy's armor down much faster and make it easier for your big weapons to punch through for full damage. But anyway, and even your small weapons will get to do some chip damage. That's one big takeaway from combat here. The second is how good armor is at stopping damage, of mitigating damage. He is just blocked so much damage. 2 damage, blocked, 2 damage, blocked, all being blocked. This could all be going through to the hull. But anyway, we forwarded. His HP is starting to drop, which means his shielding is down to a point where he's going to start taking hits. Now, over here we have a missile attack of 7 going through, hitting the shield. Now the shield integrity is down to 0. This was Bug Interceptor 141. Is that the same one from before? Yes. So now his shield integrity is 0. He took 2 full hits from attacks that were more than his shields, and it still prevented all the damage. So shields are good for 2 reasons. They stop damage from getting through to the hull, bringing down your hull armor, making you survive longer in the fight. But it's also good because this 7, even by our previous estimation, should have punched through our shields and did some damage, but it does stop the full instance of damage. Another reason why you might want to have some smaller amount of weaponry of a class that isn't your main big damage dealing weapon. In our case, it's beams, but if we had our missiles, for example, pop the shield, then when our beam attack fires, it doesn't just hit the shield and get bled out. So this is another good reason why you want small ships, fighters, frigates, these kind of ships backing up your big ships as well to help pop shields without wasting damage from your big damage dealers on shields. So there you go. Shields on the Bug Interceptor are down. Still continuing to work away at his armor. It's down to 65% here, down to 60, still being mitigated. Fighter coming in does a miss, reducing armor. Now we have some damage coming through from the Beam Hell. The Beam Hell, which has a potential damage of 38, by the way, rolling 4s, absolutely rolling garbage. But still, his armor is at a point where he's now starting to take hits. We got in 3 damage from the Beam Hell. We got in 1 damage, and his armor's down to 50%. So of the 2.3, this would have been at 55 when this attack hit. He's blocking something like 1 point something. 2 came through. There it is. He returns fire. We evaded it. Otherwise, that would have probably been a kill. Fires with his kinetics, which are... This was a really good roll, by the way. 21 of 25, 21 of 22. This was a really bad roll. He just straight up missed. 50% chance. Kinetics are bad like that. But it doesn't matter. At the occasion that they do hit, and they fire very quickly. That's something we'll talk about in a minute. We have return fire coming in. He is still absorbing some of these attacks. More fighter kinetic attacks. Pew, 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 pew. Beam hell fires finally with a decent attack of 22. That all goes through. It returns fire with its beams on the bug interceptor that lost its shields. Does the 6 damage. Even though we had an armor of 6.3, enough damage still got through. Remember, this bug interceptor only has 3 HP. So in order for us to have mitigated this particular attack on this difficulty, we would have need to have an at least an armor rating of 22.5, which is very, very high. It's quite hard to get up to that kind of level. I think Gigamass plating will get you there early if you decide to go for it, but otherwise you're going to need stuff like I forget what the name, Thulium armor or something will get you that high. And you can stack armor, so armor. But on a fighter, that's just not going to happen. Better off relying on your shields and your evasion. And that's why on smaller ships, I would say shields are better. Somebody once asked me, yo, Strat, what is better between shield and armor? And as a blanket statement, I would have said armor is better because I like to play with big ships. But ideally, you want shields on small ships. That's your best way of keeping them alive. Some shielding on your small ships and evasion. On your bigger ships, you want to stack armor when you can. I would say the more armor, the better. And some shields just to provide some buffer. You want both, even if it's a little bit. It'll still negate an attack or two. Save your shields for a few more rounds while your ships are doing their thing. Right, so we lost 1 fighter. Fighters returning fire, some damage starting to get through. Not a lot, but it all adds up. More attacks, pew pew pew. Big hit there, the 33 coming out from the beam hell. And there it is, 33. We rolled a 33 of 38. Went through all of the checks. It has no more armor. Armor integrity is 0. All that damage goes through. And that'll be GG. So hopefully now you have a better understanding of how weapons in this game work. How armor, how shielding, how the calculations are done. And how to build your ships, because even if you look at my most current designs, it's not following this rule, which is something we are going to change immediately. Let's jump back in here, have a look at our destroyer class. We want to build a new ship class, show ship designs, go into the Destro 1. It's actually saved our doctrine. It never used to do that. That's very nice. Start a new design. Now, is this still an effective build with all of its laser weaponry? Yes, but again, we are only getting 1 attack. We're only getting 1 chance to reduce enemy shields and enemy armor, which ultimately makes this a much less effective setup. So let's take out 1 beam, 2 beams. We'll put on hypersonic missile. It only has 1 damage, whereas this has 2, but it has a mass of 5. And we're replacing weapons that have a mass of 5. And we really only want these for the odd occasion when it hits something and can reduce its armor or shield. And for the same reason, we will do star cannons. And now this ship has 3 attacks, 3 opportunities to reduce armor and shielding, more armor than shields, so that our main attacks can punch through. And we'll see if this is a little bit more effective in combat. Do we want to put shields on this thing too? We'd have to give something up. Self-report, repair alloys, we like. Missile defense is really good, but I think, what's the mass on this bad boy? 2? We do have deflectors. We want the Neuroflex plating, that's for sure. We might lose the Theron Ray, and we can get either deflectors, which increases shield strength. This has 1 more shield for an extra 3 manufacturing cost. You know, I'll take it. And there it is. Okay, this is the Destro 2. We'll save it. Destro 1, 19. Destro 2, 14. We took out some things that apparently on paper make this less effective, but I honestly think it is a better ship. But anyway, that's done. Beam Hell gets a level. Illyrium cells, because we only have beams on this ship. We might actually do an upgrade. Now let's add all of these ships together, send them in. It says we'll take light casualties, maybe a couple of fighters. Again, more is good because that's going to help wear down this thing's armor and make our ship do more damage, bring down its shields, all that good stuff. Liberate our planet and wait for the next attack over here. We had some more ships. Now, this is the Destro 1. The Destro 1 has an armor value of 28. Its armor rating is 18.75. We have a look at this ship. It has a damage of 22 on the beam attacks. So this can bypass our armor and do a little bit of damage, but not a lot. Everything else is going to be stopped by our armor for quite a while. It still has the same shielding armor rating as before. And we have the benefit of the starbase buffing our defenses a little bit. So if we take this fight, we should win. It says we'll take a total loss and then no casualties. So I withdraw my previous statement. We're not under siege yet. We'll have time to maybe throw out another destroyer, but we are going to want Destro 2s to the front of the queue. You guys go away. We'll keep you here on the D for a bit. We'll give you a little love tap. What do you think about that, huh? And we hold. Go back into our planet because we have quite a lot of ships coming and we need these ships a little bit faster. Let's reprioritize on getting out enough military. I'm not too worried about this fleet. This fleet is fine. I am more worried about over here and being stretched a little bit thin until we get up some more military. We also would like to start building an invader. This is a waste of time. This 3 turns, even though we've invested so many turns into this cruiser, I don't feel like it's going to help us. This is a CPU BM-22. I don't want it. Get the transport out. We will be going on a counteroffensive sometime soon, and I need to have that one transport. All right, let's see how the enemy responds. We have a couple miners here. I think we'll just, until the path is clear and we can get up here with our miners, we'll wait. What are you? A flagship, surveyor flagship, huh? I will just stash you in here for now as well. Another miner. I'm not sure where all these miners came from. Let's see the enemy's response. Here is the Barbed Nest battleship. That's one to keep an eye on. He has 16 interceptor fighters. It's a lot. All right, they're sieging this planet. Not a problem. I've yeeted a missile out over this way. I think we'll come in like this. Destroy this fleet. Park it over here. I'm not confident that we'd be able to fight this battleship. That's a lot of HP. 293. It's a lot. Plus an armor rating of 38. That's a good amount. We are under siege here. That's not good. Can we liberate? Now it's saying no casualties, total loss. You'll remember against this fleet, we were taking the total loss. And nothing has changed. It was always inside of our range, I think the last time we checked, of our starbase. But maybe it wasn't. We'll have to fact check that. But now it's saying no casualties. Total loss. So what's changed? I think every round it recalculates your damage because everything is roll based, right? So maybe this time we roll better. But anyway, we'll quick battle that one out since it's a win, allegedly. There you go. We took some damage, which means they punched through the shielding. They got through a lot of the armor and we're able to do a bit of damage, but we live. It's dead. Rip you, bozo. And we continue to wait. Every fight that we win cleanly allows us to build up our forces. We have a lot of frigates coming through here. The Baratak are ready to feed us some ships. Love it. Uh-oh. Never mind. It's okay. They swung in with the Barbed Nest and it's 16 interceptors, but our drone ships, the beam hell means we and the benefit of having the actual starbase means that you've just lost your best and brightest. Goodbye. At absolutely no cost to myself. That right there opens the door for us to absolutely obliterate the Drath. Let's see if this one ship can take down all of these. No casualties. Total loss for them. We maybe will take some more damage on our ship. Maybe we'll heal because we have vampire modules. No, we're close to dead. It's alright, send him back, send him back. And this ship got a level, more Elerium cells, because we have so many precursor beams, and they do very little damage, but of course now we're stacking +2 on a weapon that was originally +1s. And our beam attack is going up and up. No casualties, no casualties, quick check, no casualties. And we have held. Moderate casualties, bunch of frigates, probably due to high evasion. No, not even. Beam attack 6, missile attack of 13, kinetic attacks of 6. Honestly, it's okay. We did not need to do that, but we are farming XP with the beam hell, which is okay too. Heavy casualties, total loss. Quick battle. Another level. More damage. Maybe we want actually more HP on this ship now. Extended reinforced hulls for a +4 to our HP and an extra 20% on top of it. So we'll go from 112 up to 132. Not a bad little gain. I'll take it. Now, our drone ships are still effective on their own because we're getting those bonuses from this starbase. If we didn't have these starbase bonuses, which, if you didn't know, are giving us +5 evasion, +5 to armor, more importantly, and shields. We don't have shields on any of our ships, but giving our interceptors +5 shields does keep them alive, and the armor certainly doesn't help. Plus, of course, we get a little bit of extra evasion, which is always good on fighters. So we can still win these fights. Moderate casualties and extreme casualties. It wouldn't be clean, but we're not looking to put more pressure on ourselves than we need to. I think the coast may be clear that we can grab these miners and send them out. Pick up those 2 bases for us. Hopefully, we'll see. Not quite confident that we're able to send the flagship out to do surveying, and this other miner we don't really have a use for. We'll just land it on Nyx Prime for a little bit more happiness if we need it. I'm not even sure if we need it. Where are we with the happiness? We need it. We're at 68. All right, who's the unhappy sausages? You guys are at 83. We probably exploited the population. Yeah, so it's taken a little bit of a hit. This planet could be happier. We're currently working on research districts. I feel like maybe we should be printing ships a little bit faster as a priority, because we would like to go on the counteroffensive. Let's get those done. We won't need many ships, but we will need at least 1 attacking and 1 assaulting fleet, with 1 on the defense. Again, I'm not too worried about this. This won't present too much of a problem to overcome. 4 months on plastic nano assembly. That'll get us a little bit more capacity to play around with on our ships. Maybe add in another weapon or some more shielding or something. And this one's in hand at the moment. Fire attack. I think we'll just send out our 1 ship to farm more XP. But I also would like to update that design. I'm not sure if we're able to with flagships. If I take you out, there is the possibility to upgrade the ship. This is something I'm curious about, because where's the beam hell? It is not listed here anymore once I built it. So I may not be able to upgrade it. It will always have a bad design to remind us of lessons learned. Let's go in here. No casualties. Light casualties on our fighters. We did take some hits to our HP in some fights somewhere along the ways. Quick battle that out. Lots more XP. That's 3 levels in 3 fights. If you can at all manage it to take fights with your flagships on their own, highly recommended. We're going to get more beam attack. Hopefully our fighters are going to help us punch through armor and things, and then the big beam attacks to finish things off quickly. Staying on the defense for now. Here's the Destroyer 2. New improved design. Make sure you guys get to where you need to go safely. Get more asteroid mining bases. Land you guys over here. Going with the Destro 2s. I think we will stop off for science at this point. We should be able to get by on just regular construction. We do want that population though. Let's get the population first. Okay, we're not out of the woods yet, however, because of course the AI is not going to rest on its laurels. It could always come at us with bigger fleets if it gets the research done. We're going to do our best to stay on top of stuff, but the next nihilism has come through. It's either fatalism or we get attrition. Attrition is pretty good, but I think we're going to take fatalism. And the reason we want fatalism is the Death Commando's executive order. So fatalism it is. Of course, Terror Stars are coming. That's a thing that will happen. But our executive order, Death Commandos, this for 40 control will reduce the HP of each ship in an enemy fleet by 25%, making it easier for us to kill them, which is okay. I don't know if we'd rather use that, but there may come the time when there's like a high HP fleet that actually shaving 25% of its HP off before a fight would be great. Don't know why they keep sending constructors to their death, but I'm not gonna complain. Go out there and blow that up. No resources for you. We've got more Baratak ships. How are you doing over here? 154 HP. I think we healed off of the last fight. Plus we have all of our interceptors. Moderate casualties this time around. A slightly beefier fleet. No siege. Only light casualties. Quick battle that out. You're wrecked. Ruined, destroyed. Intuary would like a bunch of credits for Helios, or kind of tempted to buy some Gigamass or trade for it, because that's something that we haven't really made much progress on. Our science, frankly, in this playthrough is not great. Our probe being taken out by Baratak ships. War crimes. Baratak, how dare you? Plastic nano assembly is done. Extra capacity on our ship, so we can go and look at maybe sticking on some more weaponry or something. A little bit of free logistics. Repair Nanite Cloud, really, really good. Absolutely love this tech. We're going to want to put that on our ships as well. It's got to be null space barriers for shield bubbles, which works really, really well with drone tech, especially since when we're pushing out into enemy territory, we don't have the benefit of our military bases giving our drones shielding. So actually having access to bubble shields, very nice. And of course, null space barriers, probably just better shields. This has a shield strength of 6 current and a massive 2. Currently, we're using something with a massive 3 and a shield strength of 4 or some crap. This will take a while. 12 turns is a long time. Is there anything else that we can get out quicker that's going to help us more in the short term? But I don't think so. I think that's a pretty good one to pick up. Another thing that we would like to get, actually, is the After Death. This will also add more shield strength, more evasion, more armor to our ships. And of course, it's a cruiser, so it's got some good HP. Plus, it'll probably also have some fairly snazzy weaponry to go along with it. Only kinetics, though. It has the one type, which is kind of bad. Kind of bad, knowing what we know now. But we'll still want that. So let's see if we can get somebody 12 and 3, 10 and 6. I'll prefer 10 and 6, man. Plus a significant portion of their data during a solar flare. I'm so sorry to hear that. Go ahead and pull you, get the After Death out there, and we are even stronger. This, I think, will make up... Well, this is an interesting question, right? Because we do want drones. We want you. That only leaves us with 21. We would like the beam hell. That's another 6. And actually, that leaves us space for these guys to go assaulting. I think that's a fairly powerful fleet. Plus, we have something on the defense. We're going to need another cruiser just to bolster this up a little bit. But that ain't bad. Once this assault transport comes down in 4 turns, less even, we may be able to start pushing out and stealing things from the draft. We want that military starbase. I think we want null space barriers. Get that done. 12 turns is a while, but if we focus on Nyx Prime doing research, that'll speed things up considerably. I think we will. We get that population to finish. I really don't need you guys making me money. I know you think we do, but we don't. Become a scientist instead. In fact, I'm kind of tempted to make all of our guys scientists. We are losing a lot of science because, quite frankly, our people are very unhappy. I think this is a decent compromise. Minus 16 is quite the hit to our economy, but we do have things that we can sell. We're sitting on a lot of precursor nanites. We've got 17 thulium, which is selling actually fairly well now. 9 promethion, we've 33 durantium, not selling very good, but it doesn't matter. We're okay for cash. We have a bank. We're going to start taking worlds and making money that way, more resources. I'm not worried. Do I seem worried? I really am not worried. Got more ships coming in from the bar attack. Again, will be a good time to test out this fleet composition. It's even stronger than it was before. What are you? A lone frigate and a surveyor flagship. All right, there's our transport protocol. Who's the least happy of you nerds? You're all basically the same. Who's the least intelligent of you nerds? I don't like you. Go away. There's our transport. We can go marauding. And yeah. Now, how long would it take for you to pull out a Destro 2? I'm going to go ahead and cancel. Just reposition this. Not really cancel it because we may need it. Let's hit you with some missiles. See if we can just not even bother letting our ships loose. Very nice. I think we'll wait for these guys to come in, clear the bar attack fleet, and then push out. I do want that flagship kill, though. I think one set of drones should be able to take care of that. No surveying for you. Get out of here. Only 9 moves. I'm not going to be able to make it to us in system. We should be totally fine. I feel like our drones will be able to clear that anyway, but I'm not going to take any chances. No slip-ups. Plus, we'll start seeing the Drath sending out bits and bobs. They'll probably ask us for peace. And the rejection of that peace could see us experience a bit of stress. It's telling us light casualties. They'll take a total loss. We'll probably be fighting outside of the bubble. So it's a really good chance for us to see the efficacy of this fleet. Still light casualties. Again, up against nothing more than frigates. So yeah. I think this is pretty good proof of concept here. Everything survives. We probably lost some drones. We lost 1 Guardian fighter, 2 Guardian fighters, and that's it. That will replenish over the space of 2 to 3 turns, I think. And let's begin the counter assault. We'll keep building destroyers. We'll send this guy to be support over Here, we should be fine. Over here, we've got a cruiser coming through with a movement of 10. Might be able to blow up my shipyard, which I'm not really keen about. I'll send a destroyer to defend that, just in case. Now, 1v1. Does my cruiser beat his cruiser? On paper, we have 14. He has 17. He's technically stronger, and it does reflect that. It will say total loss for us, but that is outside of the military starbase. So we'll just chill here and let him come to me. Let's move my asteroid miner because he'll probably blow that up. Douchebag that he is. We also have another quite large fleet over here of frigates. And make no mistake, our fleet is strong, but it is mostly strong because of the military starbase and the extra bit of shielding and evasion and all of the other stuff that we're getting. If we move outside of this, we will not be as powerful. But with the after death here, we sort of have a mini mobile military starbase. It's basically giving us the benefits of this fortification module -1. That's pretty good. Hopefully we'll be able to actually take on this fleet. Got a trade coming in. They want cash for Heliosaur. I told you no already. Go away. I think we continue to wait. He's thought better of taking that fight and is running. They're going to try desperately to stop this fleet from getting to its objective. Desperately. Did get us a couple good zaps. Our sensors have detected a large object emitting strange signals from somewhere in our sector. Understood. There's our supply ship trying to get NF online. Now, that did sort of hurt. What did he zap? Oh my god, almost one-tapped the after death. That's really bad. Extreme casualties. I really don't want the after death to die. Let's pull you out of there for now. Let's check what we're going for here. Light casualties, extreme casualties. Oof. Add you back in. Heavy casualties, total loss. I wouldn't mind going for this if I was sure that the after death would survive. There's no way for me to know what the outcome of this would be. I think the after death would survive, but it wouldn't take much. He does have some pretty good armor though, right? He's got like 27. I don't think he's got anything that beats 27. Our ships should have some kind of shielding or shield strength. These things are zapping for... yeah, I think they'll blow through these guys fairly quickly. And then we're asking the beam hell and the cruiser. Even though we win, I still think we lose the after death. I think we have to abort or we send in even more drones. Let's send these guys in. Let's fly them on by. We're committing to this attack. We'll shoot some missiles. I'm kind of tempted to take out this invader. Add in either the assault drone or the Destro 2. We might have to play around with it and see what works out better. Let's... oh, you can't go in there. My bad. My bad. What about the drones? Logistics of 4. Yeah, one of these will work. Send in more drones. Heavy casualties, total loss. I'm gonna risk it, even though, like, losing the after death, though. I can't lose the after death. Let's take out the after death. Let's add back in the Destro. Extreme casualties, total loss. This I'm okay with. And it sort of tells me that the after death was going to survive anyway. The extreme casualties are all the drones. Let's quick battle it out. Unless we lose the beam hell, which would suck, but it's not the end of the world. Did not lose the beam hell. We did get a level, more Alarium cells, and... you know what? We'll take this drone fighter out. How are our drones doing? All right, so you need to recover. Get you in there, little drone swapperoo. Okay, so what do we want in here? I think we actually need the after death to fall back and recover, heal it off, sleep it off on our shipyard. That kind of makes pushing out a little bit harder. This drone is also tapped. All right, so we'll take that guy, assault drones and invader. This assault drone fresh and ready to go, plus this destroyer. And you know, we're going to continue the advance. We will continue the advance. Have drones, will advance. You guys are a little bit weak. That all works out. Supply ships. Are we looking on NF1? We're getting there. We're getting something done on this planet. Slowly. I think we can definitely use a land reclamation, something here to start building up this military. At some point, we are going to want this approval. I guess a +1 over here is fine. We'll bump that to the front of the queue. Something like this. In the shadow of your looming victory, you're offering us a ceasefire. We're going to reject, because I don't think you've won a single fight against us, Spartak. What makes you think you can win? We have another fleet over here. This one looks a little bit more chunky. It's got 2 cruisers, a bunch of bombers, an invader. We'll have to watch out for that. That could be a little bit scary. These guys might also be in striking range. They're a bit defenseless, but unfortunately they're out of moves. Not much we can do about it unless we send some backup, but it is what it is. We're just gonna have to lose those. It's fine. They did the job. Oh, we got the Baratak sailing by. Brother, the Korath clan have been destroyed. Good job. One less to worry about. Here we go. Keep an eye on the ball, please. Eye on the prize. Eyes on the prize. Did we get back our drones yet? One of them did. You guys fall back. How do you feel about this battle? If I pushed out, I would be committing without any real way of knowing. It says we'll take light casualties, and I believe them. I believe our fleet is just so good that we can take this fight. Heavy casualties, total loss. We may lose something that I don't want to lose. We'll quick battle it out and hope that they mean that all those heavy casualties are just indeed drones. Not a problem. We lost all of our drones there. We lost all of our drones there, which will make follow-up fights a little bit more spicy, but that's okay. They're losing ships at a rate that is unsustainable. IMO, actually. You guys are good to fight. It says we'll take total loss here, which is surprising. I guess they'll bring down the cruiser really quickly. Also, he has nano tech, the nano repair. That's something we're going to want. Let's jump back in here. We have some new tech unlocked. We might wait until we have the shield bubble, something that we may want to utilize since we're so heavy on the drones for the moment, but we're holding. I'm not too worried. I'm a little bit concerned that these cruisers can maybe beat my military starbase. I feel safer over here. If they stick around to... You can't be out of moves. Seriously? You're out of moves. Huh. Oh well. I think we press forward. Even though we have no drones, the Destro is still pretty good, and the Beam Hell is pretty good. Maybe it's not the smartest play. Why would you guys do that? Don't do that. Okay, the Baratak comes sailing in. You blew up one of my shipyards. Spiteful bastards. Blowing up my infrastructure. That's okay. We'll retake everything with interest. There's our assault drone ships. Just vibing by himself. Why? We actually just have to wait a little bit until we actually get out one or two more ships here. In the meantime, the Intwiri get rejected. Goodbye. 1 month to conquer this planet. Let's start putting pressure on our opponents. Quick battle that out. Capture that planet. It's a risky move where we're putting a lot of valuable ships on the line, but I think we can get away with it. We've got another destroyer coming out here. 6 turns for that destroyer. I think we really want to get that out a little bit faster. 3 turns maybe. We can make something happen there. Okay. We just like to tidy this up a little bit. More Baratak ships. These guys are falling back to try to liberate. It is too late. Bessel is ours. There's the first invasion. We are ourselves under siege, but that shouldn't be a problem. Our drones are back up. It is within starbase range, and this should be fairly simple cleanup. Light casualties, goodbye. We defend. Enif is going to need its shipyard once again. Even though we just conquered, our movements are 0. So we are sitting ducks, but we should have our drones back. If not this turn, next turn. It's going to be a little bit spicy, but it says that we still beat this without taking any losses, so I'm all right with that. 1 month on the null space bar. I think rather than invest in ships any longer for the moment, we'll do one set of research to try to accelerate a little bit. I think we now have enough ships on the defense that we should not be at risk. We probably want more drone ships. Now that I think about it, maybe we want more assault drones. Maybe some more assault drones. Let's see if these guys survive. Yeah, we're fine. I mean, if they roll well on those attacks, it can be annoying, but there is null space barriers. Who's calling? Strides in sensor technology have allowed us to locate the source of the signal. It is the Ringworld quest line. Not a problem. Start mission to survey anomalies will do. Null space barrier for shield bubbles, which we know goes really well with drones, and leads on to temporal shielding for EMP attack, shield generators, etc., etc. It is there. There is advanced kinetics getting us more weaponry. I think we'll take it. 6 turns. We might be able to speed that up. Let's see here. Nyx Prime. Yeah, keep doing the research. We want to get through as much research as possible. Okay. I mean, it's a no casualty fight. How are we looking on HP? 43, 26. We have our drones back, so well, it's not a concern. Heavy casualties on our drones. Pretty bad. Important. Take it out. We probably lost all of our drones. Beam Hell still full HP. Destro healed a little bit. We have 9 moves. I don't see any enemy ships in reach, so we can probably steal this starbase. No casualties. Quick battle. That is my starbase. Next will be that military starbase as our next objective. And for the moment, I think I'm tempted to land here. And this starbase will be a place that we can just relax on for a little bit before we make the next push, maybe build up a secondary force. Your existence hangs by a thread. As a species of machines, we are not attached to the petty angers and emotions of organics. Therefore, we offer a ceasefire. In return, half of your income for the next year will be redirected to us. Wait a minute. Are you a species of machines? I don't think you are. Accept the terms, or, well, we will see you in hell, robot dragon, robo dragon. They still haven't fixed those. And that's totally fine. But I think that's a fairly good place to end this episode. We did spend a lot of time explaining about combat and how it works, but we have turned the tide fully on the battle here on the war. We have flipped the script, so to speak, and now we are starting to take from the draft. What are our goals here? Do we want to wipe them out in their entirety? I would be happy taking Ad Astra and the Zenitri systems and leaving Dratha up later to be consumed at my leisure. But that's all for future me to decide, and hopefully you'll be there to see it. Thank you all very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.